So you're confused about formatting in-text citations in APA. Don't worry, we've all been there. You've come to the right place. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to properly format in-text citations for the most common use cases. The rule of thumb for APA is that it follows an author-date format. All other variations build upon this same rule. You can do this in two ways: parenthetical or narrative. Parenthetical will have the author's last name and year of publication at the end of your sentence inside a pair of parentheses. Narrative will only have the year in parentheses, and the citation itself will be directly part of your sentence. When directly quoting from a specific portion of a source, in other words, using the exact same words without paraphrasing, you need to add the page number as well, denoted by a P. For multiple pages, you can use double P. For direct quotes longer than 40 words, another rule is added. You would need to place a block quote where the quoted sentence is indented by a ½ inch margin. Now let's talk about how to properly write authors' names in these in-text citations. As mentioned, you are going to be using the author-date format for APA. Remember, we're talking about the author's last name here. So what if your source has two authors? Easy. Just put an ampersand symbol in the middle of the two last names. Now, what if your source has 3 or more authors, which is pretty common in a lot of research papers? You can just put the lead author's name followed by an et al. Fun fact, et al means and others in Latin. Another handy abbreviation would be ND, that stands for no date, and you use this when you don't know the date of publication. So instead of writing the year, you can just use this. If the author is an organization or a government agency, just cite the organization as you would an individual. And if it's an organization with a well-known abbreviation, you may include that in brackets in the first citation and then just use the abbreviation for later citations. And when you're citing two different works in one singular parenthetical citation, cite them in alphabetical order, separated by a semicolon. And when you're citing two different authors with the same last name, you have to include the initial of their first name to be able to distinguish between them. Important note, remember that APA 7th edition, which is the current standard, has updated some rules from previous versions, so always make sure that you're following the current guidelines. So those were some common ways to format your in-text citations in APA. If you're still confused or aren't sure if you covered the exact case you needed, feel free to comment down below and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Hi, Shane from Jenni here. That was a lot to take in, wasn't it? You know, you don't have to memorize how to format citations. You can just use Jenni. With Jenni, you'll have your references formatted at a click of a button, and you won't even have to worry about all of the technical and nitty-gritty stuff anymore. You can just let Jenni handle your reference formatting, and you can focus on writing that amazing research paper you have. The link to Jenni will be available in the description, so go try it out. Happy writing!